you doing? This is Andrew Guy by AndrewGuySpeaks.com, and today we're talking to high school and middle school student. Today we're talking about capping, we're talking about ranking. It's basically name calling. You know, when you pick on each other and say, oh, your mama is that, your daddy is that, or you're ugly, or whatever the case may be. Basically, it boils down to just trying to say the meanest things that you can possibly say to your friend or even a colleague or someone you really don't really care about. But I want to let you know that there is a detriment to that. And as middle school and high school goes, listen, this is where you get to build a relationship. Key relationships. Some are going to last for a lifetime, some are going to last for a semester, some are going to last for a year, some are going to last for a day. But what I want to say specifically, every time you rank on somebody, every time you say something mean to somebody, every time you say something derogatory about somebody, you're actually tearing that person down. And I want you to look at this right here. I have one of these sticky pads here. Every time you say something bad about somebody, you actually tear them down. And if you keep doing that, if you keep tearing them down, if you look, you see how thick this thing is? This is thick because guess what? It can withstand some things. But every time you tear them down, every time you call them names, every time you tell them about their mama, you actually breaking them down. You're breaking down their defensive skills. You're breaking down their immunity. You're breaking down their ability to survive on their own. You're actually destroying a human being. So if you keep doing that, after a while, all you're going to end up with is what? The cover, the shell. Nothing inside to actually help this person to make it into the future. And I know that seems a little drastic, and it seems maybe it's a little bit too much or over the edge, but let me tell you something about ranking. There are a lot of schools that are getting shot up. There are a lot of kids who are getting hurt. Innocent bystanders are getting killed because of this ranking, because you're talking about somebody, you're making fun of somebody that you think it's cool and it's funny, but it's just not funny. Calling somebody, hey man, that's gay. There's nothing funny about that. You know, I watched a commercial a few days ago, and it was a basketball commercial on NBA.com. And this guy, they were talking about, hey man, bring your A game. Yeah man, I got game, I got this and I got that. Yeah, you know, the high school, middle school stuff, the teenage, pre-teenage type stuff, right? The stuff we used to do, the stuff I used to do, you used to do. But it got to the point where I think one of the players said, hey man, your moves are so whack, your moves is so gay. And then I think it was Grant Hill was the speaker for the other commercial, said, cut. Calling someone gay is really not funny. It ain't even cool. All right? So that's part of the ranking that they're doing in middle school and high school right now. I always tell them, take some time to think about what you are going to say to somebody, because when the tables are turned, every time you say something bad about somebody, you're actually tearing down somebody. You're killing their future. Why not build them up? Instead of saying one positive, one negative thing, why don't you try to say at least one positive thing? And my goal is this, for you. If you have nothing positive to say nothing. If you have nothing positive to say nothing. But if you can think of one positive thing to say, you said a million things. All right? You never know what other person is going through. You never know what their day is like. So try to say something positive. All right? So this is Andrew for AndrewGuySpeaks.com, reminding you that I'm impacting lives for a better tomorrow. Let's change the world by saying a positive deed, a positive thing, a positive note, depositing something into somebody. And let me add this quickly. Once we used to talk about encouragement, and we used to talk about being courageous. But let me explain what encouragement really boils down to. Every time you encourage somebody, it's almost as if you are depositing some good stuff inside that person. And if you keep on depositing, a person who is thin and have a low self-esteem would be built up. And they would be built up and built up and built up over time. All right? So whenever you encourage somebody, you're putting things in. Whenever you discourage somebody, you're actually doing a withdrawal. You're taking stuff out of them. You're taking away their courage. You're taking away their self-esteem. You're peeling away the very being of who they are that builds them up. Okay? So let's make a deposit. Let's encourage so we can have courageous people, courageous citizens, courageous students. And it begins with you. Teachers, if you hear other students ranking or capping or talking bad or dissing another student, it's in your powers to say something. It's in your powers, it's in your hands to say, stop it, that's not good. Say something else. All right? You can change your classroom, you can change your environment, you can change lives by making sure you stand up for the right thing. Again, this is Andrew for AndrewGuySpeaks.com. I'm impacting lives for better tomorrow. What about you? Take care.